All right. Time for some live reacting here on the Twitcher. Here we go. Alliance bad. This one got recommended to me a while back. Alliance bad. We'll get some flame in the comment section today. All right. Here we go.
Now, when it comes to things that the Horde has done bad, there's a couple of expansions whose sole focus is on that. So this video will go over Alliance bad things.
True.
Things that members of the Alliance have done, which could be considered morally questionable.
Yeah.
So first, let's start off with the Purge of Darkness.
Yeah, it's the thing nobody likes to talk about. It's the thing nobody likes to talk about. Oh yeah, everybody loves talking about, oh, the Horde is terrible. The Horde has done all these terrible things. Oh my god. Yeah,
Dalaran. In Mists of Pandaria, Jaina Proudmoore found out that some of the Blood Elves in Dalaran allowed Garrosh and his men to move the Divine Bell through the city, after they had just stolen it from the Night Elves. When confronting the Blood Elves who were in charge of the other Blood Elves in Dalaran,
hey, that's what the hell, man.
She got a response that they didn't actually do anything. And since the Blood Elves just looked the other way, Jaina took this as a huge offense, and then immediately killed his guards and imprisoned him.
Sure did.
Then she ordered the immediate exile of all of the Blood Elves from the city. The Silver Covenant helped Jaina in getting rid of all the Blood Elves from the city as well, where they basically arrest anyone who didn't resist, and then killed the people who did. Now, yeah, she did that. Yeah, your girl did that. Innocent people, innocent Blood Elves, innocent. There was only a small fraction that were Garrosh loyalists. You did that, Alliance. As players, you actually get to help Jaina accomplish this task, or help Blood Elves escape the city if you're Horde.
Yep.
Jaina runs around the city teleporting people to the dungeons, and then will kill anyone who fights back, which happens occasionally, as they are citizens being forced to leave their homes.
Yep.
The Silver Covenant, led by Varisa Wind.
Only good elf is a dead elf? You go to hell, sir.
Runner will task Alliance players to kill various Blood Elves throughout the city. One of them, a scribe shopkeep, who is being executed for not siding with the Covenant. Another is a merchant in the Dalaran Bank.
Y'all killed a merchant and a scribe and the shopkeeps just because they didn't side with you. But the Horde is so bad.
Who's trying to recover his assets.
The Alliance are not the good guys.
Another is a blacksmith, an engineer, a tailor shopkeeper. All of them ordered to be executed because they didn't want to leave their shops. Now, I know what you might be saying. The Blood Elves did help Garrosh, so it was only natural for Jaina to kick them out. And she did spare anyone who gave up, and only killed a handful of people intentionally, and then killed all the others because they tried to fight back. But here's the thing. Dalaran also participated in protecting Theramore.
Yeah,
when
you did.
Garrosh was attacking the city. And they even sent in troops, including some Blood Elves. No one cared that they literally used Dalaran to provide military aid in the form of troops being sent into Theramore directly to aid the Alliance's cause. However, the only thing the Horde did was let a small group of people move through the city. It wasn't even all the Blood Elves. Most of them didn't even know what was going on. It was an incredibly small group of Garrosh loyalists who threatened the Blood Elves if they didn't let them move through the city. And Jaina decided to purge all of the Blood Elves on her own without consulting anyone, as Varian got incredibly mad when he found out what she did, because he was in talks with the Blood Elves to have them join the Alliance, because they were not happy with Garrosh either. Apparently, Jaina hasn't heard of this little thing called a trial, or looking for evidence. The entire debacle was just...
She didn't look for evidence. She didn't investigate it. She did nothing of the sort. She just waltzed up in there and started arresting anybody and everybody that looked like a Blood Elf, and if they showed any kind of resistance, she killed them. You allowed this, Alliance.
Her being fed up with the Horde for lots of justifiable reasons. I'll give her credit for that. But the entire situation was not a good thing.
No.
And the Blood Elves are still kind of bitter about this.
Oh, they're pissed.
And is why a lot of the Blood Elves eagerly sided with Sylvanas during the Fourth War.
Yep.
Now, let's go over Camp Tarajo.
Oh,
the Camp Tarajo
no!
incident is a mess
Okay.
all around and is a very good storyline when you play through it in
It
the
is.
Southern Barrens.
It is.
Because playing through that zone gives you two different stories depending on which faction you play on.
True.
And you have to actually play through both quest lines in order to get the full story.
Truth.
So what happened was the Alliance decided to attack Camp Tarajo.
Yes, they did.
Because it would give them a foothold in the Barrens and be an excellent military outpost if they were to ever launch an invasion on the Horde.
Yep.
And it was considered a military target since they did train hunters and warriors there.
Yep.
So the Alliance sent in an attack and killed all of the defenders.
Sure did.
Then they opened up a path so that all the civilians could run out. However, unbeknownst to the Alliance, the path they let the civilians run to was directly into Quillbore territory.
Yep.
So all of the
Sure
civilians
did.
were massacred. So if you're playing on the Horde side, you learn that the Alliance attacked the town for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
and then intentionally led them into Quillbore territory as a cruel joke, so that they could die a slow death.
Yep,
And on
yep,
the Alliance side, they tell you how they took the town while trying to minimize as many casualties as possible, and even opened a wall for their civilians to escape. And this little debauch
Good evening! You're right in the middle of a live reaction! Thank you, Zetnov. Thank you for the raid, sir, madam, robot, ghost, whatever form of existence you so choose. Good evening. Hello. That'll be going in the video. Well, that'll be going in the video for sure. Thanks for the follow, my dude. Appreciate that. It's a live reaction. This stuff happens, huh? It's a live reaction. This kind of stuff happens, huh? Yeah, oh yeah, this is going on YouTube. Yeah, this is going on YouTube. Go ahead, get it in. Thank you. That's funny. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate that.
debacle is heavily debated in both the lore community.
We're pissing off Alliance viewers. We're pissing off Alliance viewers. Yeah. Thank you for the follows incoming here. We're pissing off a lot of Alliance viewers here. Sorry.
And in the actual World of Warcraft world itself. As a direct result of this led them building the wall to close off Mulgore.
Yep.
And then taking Northwatch to get rid of the Alliance incursions into the Barrens. In one of the Warcraft books, Bane mentions the Camp Tarajo incident.
He does.
And says, the Tauren had not been untouched by the recent changes. The Alliance, expanding from Northwatch Hold under false information that the Tauren were planning an attack, had razed Camp Tarajo. The only residents it now had were looters. Many Tauren died in the battle, others fled to Vendetta Point, where they sporadically attacked Northwatch Hold scouts, or to Camp Unafe, the Camp of Refuge. Bane does admit that it was a military target though, and says as much when he's talking to Vol'jin in the same book. Vol'jin peered up at him from his raptor. They destroyed Camp Tarajo, Mon, he said. Yes, said Bane. They took down a military target, and their general refused to slaughter civilians. He could have given the order to massacre everyone, but he didn't. Bane makes it a point to exile anyone who attacks Alliance from Vendetta Point, so the whole situation is definitely murky. The Alliance did a bad in attacking a peaceful Tauren settlement, but also it was a legitimate military target.
It was, and that one is debatable. Camp Tarajo has always been a debatable point. And that one actually just kind of comes down to what do you personally believe? You know, do you believe that they should have done that? Do you believe that, yeah, they attacked it because it was a military target? It is a very gray area. It is a very gray area. And their Alliance captain did refuse to kill civilians. That's true. But they did start it.
Target as said so by Bane himself. At the end of the whole incident, the Alliance general who ordered the attack was assassinated, and the Horde takes the place back.
You're welcome.
Even plans for there to be a war front in the Barrens that might have continued the story.
What? There would have been a war front there? What? I hate Battle for Azeroth. I hate this expansion. That would have been dope! That would have been dope! Just another example of what could have been.
Though that was scrapped in BFA. Now let's talk about Stormheim. At the beginning of the Stormheim zone in Legion, the Alliance, led by Gen Greymane, attacked the Forsaken ships without provocation.
Dude, I'm sorry. I gotta address this again. Dude, a war front in the Barrens. As big as that place was, that would have been way better than Arathi. Because Arathi sucks, okay? Arathi sucks. That stuff from Stromgarde, whatever. But overall, like, you go to Arathi while you're leveling, especially, pre, Cataclysm and even after that, you go to Arathi, and then when you leave Arathi, you don't want to go back. Like, you don't. You don't want to go back. Once you're done with Arathi Highlands, you do not want to go back. And Arathi is boring. Everything is so freaking spread out. It is so freaking spread out. It's boring. It should have been. No, it just should have been the entirety of the Barrens. It should have been. That would have been
The
awesome.
Alliance had no information that the Horde was up to anything.
Sorry,
They
let's
just
back it
without
up for a second.
and there was even
Back it up for a
plans for
second.
there to be a war front in the
That would've been
Barrens that might
awesome.
have continued the story. Though that was scrapped in BFA.
Assholes.
Now let's talk about Stormheim. At the beginning of the Stormheim zone in Legion, the Alliance, led by Gen Greymane, attacked the Forsaken ships without provocation.
Yes, he did.
The Alliance had no information that the Horde was up to anything. They just straight up saw some Forsaken ships,
Yep.
were pretty miffed about what happened at the Broken Shore,
Yep.
and decided to just open fire.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. Gen Greymane got lucky. And
Yes,
it
he did.
turns out Sylvanas was up to some shady stuff, so nothing really came of it. Kind of, as this plot point is expanded upon in the prequel novel A Good War, as Sylvanas uses this little incident as one of the main motivators to convince Sourfang to plan the War of Thorns for her.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You Night Elf players, you want to be all mad at us? You want to be mad at Sourfang for your tree burning? Guess what? That wouldn't have happened if your boy, Gen Greymane, had opened fire on us. So, really, by that understanding, Teldrassil was your fault, Alliance.
You see, the Alliance attacked them when they were not at war, and in
That's
fact
right.
had a tenuous peace treaty going on to work together in order to defeat the Legion. And
That's
for
right.
the rest of the expansion, they did work together in order to defeat the Legion. Something that Sourfang
And Gen was never punished for that. He went, and we did not provoke him. He went because he was so mad that Varian died. He was so mad. And yeah, you know what? We lost our guy too. We lost Vol'jin, so F you. This is said in good fun, so nobody get pissy or anything like that. But Gen attacked unprovoked. And Gen was never punished for it. Never.
brings up when he's talking to Sylvanas. However, Sylvanas mentions the fact that Greymane was never reprimanded for what he had done. Not only did he face no consequences for attacking them, he's the main.
He just went right back home and sniffed some butts. That is exactly what Gen Greymane does. Gen Greymane sniffs butts. I want this trending in my chat right now. Hashtag Gen sniffs butts. I want it trending in my chat right now. Hashtag Gen sniffs butts. Do it. Do it. Get it going. Get it going. Let the word be known. I said, get it going. Hashtag Gin sniffs butts.
Leader of the Alliance, and is always seen around Anduin.
Yep.
Which is basically the same as the Alliance endorsing his actions. And if the Alliance endorses an unprovoked action during peacetime, then who knows when they're going to attack next, especially with Gen Greymane whispering into the king's ears. So, this little incident is in...
Did Garrosh reprimand Sylvanas for using the plague in Gilneans when prohibited of its use? The plague that was prohibited was the one the Scourge made. The one Sylvanas was using was a different concoction, therefore it was not the prohibited one. 2. Garrosh never specifically told her to stop. He said that the plague that was utilized at Wrathgate was no longer allowed. The one used in Silverpine was not the one used at Wrathgate. There was no need to reprimand her, because she wasn't using the one that Putris used at Wrathgate. I just shut that one down.
Indirectly the cause of the Fourth War, and probably had the biggest ramifications of everything the Alliance had done so far. Now, let's talk about the battle for Dazar'alor. The Alliance sneaks spies into the harbor of the city of the Zandalari, and then blow up all of their boats after leading a majority of their forces to a different battlefront. Siege the city and then kill their current residing king. Then run away and face no consequences for this action. Now, at the time of this battle, the Zandalari were not officially part of the Horde yet.
No, they were not. And I want to make that a point. No, they were not. No, they were not. The Zandalari were not a part of the Horde yet. No, they were not.
They were just in talks with giving them ships. And it was
They
the
were
Alliance
in
attacking
talks.
the city and killing the king.
They weren't even allies yet. They weren't even, like, we were still acquaintances at this point. Like, we were getting friendly, and the Alliance attacked.
That got the Zandalari to finally join the Horde.
Yep.
Although, in the Alliance's defense, if the Horde managed to get the Zandalari on their side with their full navy intact, they would have been totally screwed.
They would have.
And they were basically ready to join the Horde at any moment anyway, so they did a preemptive strike for their best interests. And it also led to one of the best raids in the game.
That's true.
Now, let's go over who attacked first at Silithus.
Oh, I love this argument. I love this argument. Oh, I love this one. Who attacked first at Silithus? You did. Spoiler.
After the discovery of Azerite, Sylvanas and Galliwick sent a team of goblins to Silithus in order to start a mining operation to obtain as much Azerite as possible. The Alliance learned of this operation through their SI-7 spies and warns Anduin about it.
The Horde was
Then
there first.
Matthias Shaw sends a group of spies to Silithus in order to watch the mining operations. In the book Before the Storm, a group of Explorer League members being escorted by Alliance Night Elves are attacked by goblins in Silithus. And this is incorrectly described as the Horde attacking first in this incident.
That's right.
Since the Alliance get a quest in order to kill goblin miners, which happens immediately after the speech Anduin gives during the cinematic. As when Matthias Shaw gives you the quest, he talks about the speech that Anduin had given that day. Keyword being that day. And the Explorers League members don't arrive at Silithus until a few weeks later after that speech. As Anduin meanders about after that speech in the book, goes to different Alliance cities in order to talk to Alliance leaders, and it's during his travels to Ironforge that he talks to the Explorer League members, who themselves talk about how they're going to Silithus, and are the exact same members who get attacked.
Those goblins did nothing to you. And Sylvanas wouldn't have been intrigued to mine that Azerite if Gin hadn't attacked us unprovoked in Legion. This all goes back to Gin. Your boy caused this. Just saying.
Which happens weeks after he gives the speech. So that would have taken at least another week, or even a couple of days after he reached Ironforge for the Explorer League members to go to Silithus.
Yep.
And even then, they weren't attacked immediately. The time frame puts the Explorer League members getting attacked almost a month after the Alliance spies were already attacking Goblin miners.
That's right.
And this part is kind of glossed over a little bit, since the Goblins didn't care very much. They probably just saw getting killed by Alliance spies as a workplace hazard. Something they were probably used to, and no one really batted an eye when the Horde amassed an army in what they thought was a march on Silithus.
Your mom
since
likes
there was
Goblin
already
dot.
skirmishes going on down there. But instead, Sourfang marched the army north through Ashenvale, which started the Fourth War.
Yep.
Speaking of goblins, when their home island was getting destroyed during the Cataclysm, a lot of
Everybody forgets about this one. I know exactly what he's about to talk about. Everybody forgets about this one. Every person that says the Horde is the bad guy, they always forget this one.
of them were held captive by Gallywix on a boat as they were trying to escape, and the Alliance came across them at the same time they shot down Thrall's boat, and then opened fire on the Goblins' boat in order to eliminate witnesses.
Yep.
This again was just another attack without provocation.
Yup.
Which eventually led the Goblins to joining the Horde after they meet Thrall on the island.
That's
become friends
right.
with him. Now let's talk about the former Stone Spear Tauren tribe. Former because their tribe got wiped out.
Oh no. Yep. That captain even said no witnesses. Thrall wasn't Horde anymore in Cata. At the beginning, he was when the Goblins joined the Horde. Yes, he was. He was there. Yes, he was. He was there. Thrall was there. When the Goblins joined, Thrall was there. Thrall is there in that Goblin starting zone. He's there. When you do the starting introductory quest with the Goblins, Thrall is there. He's there. He is, man.
The tribe inhabited the southern part of the Barrens before the Cataclysm, and they were driven from their homes by the Quillboard to near extinction, although they weren't gone yet and made their home at Baal Modan,
True.
which was their ancestral burial site as well. A group of dwarves found the place and discovered there was Titan artifacts there, and decided to set up a mining operation in order to investigate further. The Tauren didn't let them, though, and reached out to the dwarves in order to come to a diplomatic resolution. But the dwarves were having none of that. So they routed them out and chased them off, killing anyone who fought back, which essentially ended what remained of the Stone Spears, as one of the last survivors has a quest which sends Horde adventurers into the dig site in order to take revenge and kill the dwarves. And these dwarves are not an independent operation. They were part of the Alliance at the time of this ordeal, even if they weren't sent on direct orders by the Alliance. And speaking of dwarves,
An entire tribe wiped out because of yo damn dwarves.
and also humans, after the Third War, Sylvanas took back Undercity and sent out emissaries to all of the Alliance kingdoms in order to maybe rejoin.
Oh, I remember this.
As all of her people were former members of the Alliance.
I remember this.
And without exception, all of her emissaries were either killed or hunted if they managed to get away. Especially the emissaries sent to the humans or dwarven settlements.
Yep.
They saw the undeads as monsters who were part of the Scourge.
Yep.
And made absolutely no attempts to hear them out. And in fact, they sanctioned attacks on the Forsaken as well as all undeads through the Silver Hand, which eventually became the Scarlet Crusade.
Yep.
Who still had somewhat friendly relations with the Alliance in vanilla WoW, before the Alliance officially denounced them sometime later.
Yep.
The Scarlet Crusade are crazy people who kill anything they think might be undead. And it took a really long time for the Alliance to distance themselves from them, even though they still don't like the undead to the modern day. In Before the Storm, when Anduin tried to show one of the most
Tyrellion's an asshole. Tyrellion's an asshole. That's all I have to say.
peaceful undead in the entire world, Alonsis Fowl, to Gen Greymane and Tyrallion, they both immediately tried to kill him.
Yep.
One can wonder what might have been if they had actually talked to the emissaries rather than killing them, as this was a main motivation for Sylvanas joining the Horde in the first place, and her resentment towards the Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that covers all of the main events of Alliance aggression.
Yep.
And I didn't include a lot of iffy things since they don't really pertain to the modern Alliance.
And there's a lot of
Garithos was an Alliance general who hated the Blood Elves because he was racist, and sent them on suicide missions, and then eventually ordered them all to be executed after they accepted the help from Naga.
Yep.
Garithos was a main motivation for the Blood Elves not wanting to...
F this idiot. Garithos is an ass. Garithos is an ass. Now, I say he's an ass because he was doing that shit of his own free will. So I don't really count that as this is something bad the Alliance did. Marshal Garithos is a dick. Ass clown. Numbnuts. Prick, even.
To join the Alliance at first, but it wasn't the only reason. And Sylvanas did eventually kill him anyway.
Yep.
We also have Dalen Proudmoore
Bingo.
attacking the Horde without provocation, as he was technically part of the Alliance at the time.
Yep.
But this was before World of Warcraft, and Jaina denounced his actions as well.
She did.
The Alliance set up orc internment camps after they won the Second War, which
Yep.
were not good places for the orcs.
No.
However, the alternative was to have them all executed. So, there's that. The Alliance also produced Arthas, who is probably responsible for more deaths.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Than any of the main characters from World of Warcraft, beating out even someone like Sylvanas. Maybe. I'm
Maybe.
actually not sure which of the two have more people killed. But I'm gonna have to go with Arthas because he was kind of a machine when it came to killing people.
Yeah, he was.
Although his actions were not sanctioned by the Alliance and happened before World of Warcraft, and he was firmly a villain during all of the World of Warcraft timeline.
True.
The Night Elves kicked out the High Elves for wanting to use magic after the War of the Ancients,
Yep.
which led to a lot of resentment by the Blood Elves who went through lots of hardships trying to find and build a new nation. And they also wouldn't allow orcs to chop down trees and attack them. But again, this happened before World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and they weren't part of the Alliance, nor would people really blame them for either of these actions to an extent.
True.
And then we have alternate Draenor Yrel, killing...
Hey, look. It's the thing that they're probably never going to mention again. You don't know what I'm talking about? Just watch.
anyone who doesn't convert to the light, which does happen during World of Warcraft, but independent of the Alliance. So she's kind of doing her own thing, and only temporarily joined up with the Alliance when they were there, and then started doing her own thing after they had left. So, excluding all of those things, we have a pretty good list of everything else from the video, which shows Alliance attacks without provocation, excluding a handful of minor things.
Yeah.
But I will admit, a Horde video done in this style would be much longer.
Yeah.
This video...
Yeah, it would. To be fair, yeah. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. He is. It's all in fun.
Isn't about trying to say that the Alliance is worse than the Horde.
No.
It's merely listing all of the Alliance offenses.
True.
For educational purposes. Alright, and that's the end of the video. This video was edited by the lovely Flying Buttress, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him. So,
Okay,
if
then.
you liked it, I'd highly suggest you checking out his channel.
Absolutely.
As he makes World of Warcraft videos as well, and is criminally underwatched for how good they are.
Absolutely.
Links to his channel will be at the end of the video and in the
I'll
video
link him in
description.
the description.
And
absolutely.
fun fact, did you know only 26.2% of people who watch these videos are actually subscribed to the channel?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. That was a good video. That was a really good video. That was a really, really good video. I'm gonna sub to him. I'm gonna give that a like. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was good shit. So yes. Yeah. That was a good video. That was a good video. And yeah, and the reason why, yes, I had fun during that. But again, I want to emphasize, I am not saying that the Horde is innocent by any means. The Horde's done some bad shit too. But everybody loves, well, not everybody. But a lot of people this expansion seem to forget Alliance. Your hands ain't clean either. And a lot of the stuff that resulted or happened in this expansion, they might have never happened if your boy, Gen Greymane, had never attacked us unprovoked in Legion. Hashtag Gen Sniffs Butts.